Yo, what is going on, Arkansas fans? How goes it? Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I know I say that, but Arkansas lost a game that seems to have changed everybody's mind on the season. And I'm not going to lie, I might be one of them. But you know how I am. I try to tell everyone not to have an emotional response to a loss, but it's not just the loss in itself, not the loss in itself, but it's just kind of is it what do we say about Chad Morris, the writing on the wall? You kind of see that for the season a little bit, don't you? They're just not healthy. They don't have the depth. It just makes you wonder a little bit. Are they going to come up just a little bit shy? I don't know. We'll talk about it a little bit. This will only be a 30-minute show, and I'm going live early because I'm just behind on everything today, and I haven't been it's been just a little bit of a, I'm not going to say crazy weekend, or just a little busy. So I haven't been super active on social media. Hell, I haven't even really been active in any. I've got text messages that are piling up since Saturday, and I'm just really behind. I shouldn't say since Saturday. You know, you answer them, you look at your phone, and then you don't really read them. You just kind of thumb through them really quick, you know? Like, okay, yeah, whatever. But I didn't really read any of it because I was just in a rush and I had other stuff going on. That's kind of been my weekend, really, since Saturday. We had a really fun movie night. A good friend of mine, JR's house, out in Pea Ridge. We watched Ford versus Ferrari. If you haven't seen it, totally worth watching. It's a good flick. If you're a car guy, you don't have to be a Ford guy. Trust me, if you're a Ford guy, you might take a little offense to this movie. They do not make Henry Ford II look very good at all, or Ford for that matter. But it's a good movie, though, man. I really liked it. It was a good flick. So that's what I did Saturday night. We were just busy doing family stuff, getting caught up there and working and everything, the day-to-day life. So I'm going to give you guys a heads up, too. This is the point in the season. We didn't do these live last year. We didn't have live shows last year. And if you guys remember, I was only pumping out not a whole lot of content, and that's probably going to be the case this year during the off season. Spring, I'm going to try and be all over that. Baseball, because you play so many games, it's so hard to keep up with. Unless you're getting paid to literally keep up with Arkansas sports for a job, like if that's your day-to-day, then yeah, you should be able to keep up with the I'm not that, right? I'm not going to be able to keep up with all baseball. So I'm going to do my best with it. I'm going to cover as much as I can, but I'm going to be behind probably in some of that. And the content's going to be a little less. So we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. But I'm still going to try and pump out a live show at least once a week. But for a little while, up until spring. Now, when spring camp kicks into, and when it kicks off, when that gets going, then yeah, we'll probably be back to 2 shows a week for a little while, and then we'll get ready for summer, which means I'll probably go back down to 1 show a week. So I'm just giving some of you guys a heads up. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you guys. If you would like the video, share the content. You know, I sit here and say I'm going to go once a week. You know how I am, though. I sometimes I just fly by the seat of my pants, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go live. That's probably going to happen. Things will change. You know, I'm saying that right now, but I guarantee you tomorrow I'm going to be like, no, you know what? I'm going to cover this. Yeah, but don't forget to check out all the links down below. I did not update Patreon, and I apologize for that as well. But I do want to give a shout-out to the latest addition to our Patreon page. Doug Stubbs and Brett Connor are 2 latest additions. Shout-out to those 2 guys. I said I'd get that fixed. I didn't. That's my bad. I'll add your name to the list. It'll be down there. But I do appreciate you guys. So, Xavier Kelly, defensive tackle out of Clemson. I know that's what a lot of people are. What is the deal? What happened today? Well, he got crystal balled today by 24/7 Sports. I think it was Danny. Was it Dan? Someone will have to clear that up in chat if that was Danny West or Trey Biddy. But he got someone crystal balled him to Arkansas. Make no mistake about it. This is a guy. He was a light rotator last year for Clemson. I think he did a little special teams, I think. Will come here and contribute. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to come in and push for playing time. Might even be a starter. I don't know yet. I don't know a whole lot about him. I've heard Porter talk about him a little bit over on the Hog Talk, so I don't know a ton about him, but I know that he, Clemson people are going to be sad to see him go, and he did contribute some last year. I think he had a handful of tackles, maybe a sack. Pretty big dude, 6'4", 305. Had some interesting offers coming out of high school. Xavier Kelly would be. It's like what the doctor ordered. Just get someone up there who's got some experience. This guy has college football playoff experience, playing on some really good Clemson teams. That's the experience he's bringing with him. You're also going to have Dorian Gerald, your defensive end next year. He's going to be healthy. Was only supposed to be here for 2 years out of JUCO. He's going to get that third year. You got some experience up front. You're losing Sosa a game. You're losing Scooter Harris, right? You're losing Cam Curl. You're losing some of the guys that stood out last year on defense. But you get back the guys I just mentioned, or, Dorian Gerald. You should get Xavier Kelly. He should be a Hog. It sounds like it's all but a done deal. You'll have Bumper Pool, who I'm pretty big on. The defense could be worse. Defense could be worse. Okay, the talent on the defense has been worse. So I think Odom, he's got some good options. I think he's got some stuff. He's got some good stuff to work with next year, and I feel pretty good that Arkansas is going to take a right step in the right direction next year. So again, to those Patreon guys, to Doug Stubbs and Brett Connor, if you guys are in chat, again, I just want to be, and I'll probably say something in Discord today too, if they're not in here, but I will update that list. Unpopular opinion, Diamond Hogs won't make the College World Series this year. Not sure we're going to have enough pitching. Hope I'm wrong. I thought I heard they're going to put a freshman on the mound for day 3. I don't know. You're going to have to hope that Connor Nolan steps up. I think he's going to get that Friday night call. It's going to be interesting. What up, Ty? What's up, Carson? Love this channel and content. Guess Pittman I did not know that. He bought Mike Anderson's house. I did not know that, Carson. Holy cow. Is that true? Oh, man. Let's face it, though. I started last year confident. Not confident at all with Campbell. So many people didn't with him. Campbell was stellar last year. He was unbelievable. Yeah, I really hope that if the bullpen comes together, I think Arkansas baseball. If I'm doing an early, just outsider's perspective, because that's what I'm not. Some of you guys are probably way ahead of me. In fact, I'm willing to bet several of you are way ahead of me on Arkansas baseball. But so I'm going to call myself an outsider for right now until I get caught up. From an outsider's perspective, I would have to put Arkansas into that list of the teams, of one of the teams that make the College World Series and should compete in the SEC really, really well this year. We have, I can't remember the year when they were ranked number 1. Someone's going to have to remind me on that too. What was that, 2012? Or was it further back than that? But they were ranked number 1 in the country and they fell flat on their face. But I don't think that team had the talent that this team had. My gosh. Kerstad today, I believe it was today, made the D1Baseball.com's All-American first team All-American list. Someone texted me that. I haven't followed up on it, but I'm just saying it as a fact because it's got to be true. Kerstad has made several first team All-American shortlists already. He continues to gain accolades as we move on throughout the final days of offseason for college baseball. It's just so good to have baseball back. Oh, my gosh. And I hope to catch some games. But, yeah, back to Xavier Kelly really quick. Everything has pointed to him coming here. I think his options were between Arkansas and supposedly Kansas State. I could be wrong on that. I don't know. But you've got to like your odds here. Bringing him in, you feel like he's going to be someone that contributes. So that was the news there on him. But, yeah, he was – well, that and the crystal ball being the biggest news over on 24/7 Sports to Arkansas. That happened earlier. You've had several just shitheads on Twitter, I have an insider scoop. Like, they're stating the obvious. Have you ever noticed that when people get, crystal ball picks, they just start stating the obvious, and then they go viral on Twitter as though they were, the first people. No, you weren't. Shut up. You don't have a source. You have a subscription to 24/7 Sports. Oh, these people crack me up. It's good content, though. Makes for good stuff. So, yeah. Did you guys see, too, also in the news, former Razorback pitcher Mike Ballslinger is going to sue the Astros. I don't know if you guys saw that. He played for the Hogs back in 2009. I think he came here, if I remember his recruiting, he went JUCO. I think he went JUCO, and then he came here for a couple of years. He was a closer. God, I cannot remember him that well. And then he went on, and obviously he's done some pretty good things in the MLB. Ballslinger's they're cheating. The cheating Astros, quote unquote, changed the course of his career. So he's suing them. Good luck with that. I hope that works out for him. I really do. I also have, speaking of baseball, I don't know if this is completely legit, but I had a roster sent to me, or a batting lineup that has Braden Webb, Kerstad. So Webb's your leading man, Kerstad, Goodhart, Martin, Opitz, Franklin, Austin, or Cole Austin, and Robert Moore and Jacob Nesbitt. That's your batting lineup. I don't know if that's right or not. Someone might want to, just throwing that out there. I had that sent to me. I don't know if that sounds right to anybody, but Webb, Kerstad, Goodhart, Martin, Opitz, Franklin. Because Franklin, that's where he was at the batting order last year. Wasn't he near the bottom? Wasn't Franklin near the bottom? I can't really remember. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting, though. I can't get over that Ballslinger's going to actually sue. I think he's the first. So far to come out and do that of many. I bet there will be several people that come out and sue the Astros. My goodness. Ooh, what a... If you think the shit's on Twitter, man, don't spend much time on... Yeah, Kelly, I think you've heard me talk quite a bit about Facebook. It is a toxic shithole. I hate Facebook. I hate it. I absolutely despise it. And yet I have people telling me, like, every day, Ty, start a Facebook group page. We'll join up. We'll sign up. And I'm like, man, it's so bad over there, though. Twitter, it's just for the hot takes, And also, you can't read into the humor. I try to be. I'm 50-50. A lot of the things I say there, it's really just. Might as well be a parody account sometimes with the stuff that I tweet out. Half the time, sometimes it's newsworthy. Sometimes it's me just poking fun at stupid crap. Our offense is going to make for some fun games. I'm assuming you're talking about baseball. I'm also excited to see. They've got a 17-year-old second baseman. They've got a TCU transfer too. It's rotating. I think Nolan will do pretty good since he had time. Yeah, this is his first true. That's a good point, Kyle. This is his first actual complete offseason with Razorback baseball. We've seen what Dave Van Horn can do from one year to another. It's pretty remarkable. Excuse me, YouTube. I need them noties. Sorry I'm late. Yeah, notifications are just an absolute. We're sitting here bad-mouthing Facebook. How about YouTube's awful notifications? Keep your eye on Roger Moore. Says Arky56. There's going to be a lot. I think, and this strikes me as one of those years where we're talking about all this, Martin and Kerstad and some of these known names. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those years where you see one of these younger guys step up. And we start, they become maybe not a household name, but Razorback baseball fans get to know them a lot better. It feels like it's going to be one of those years where you expect the normal, like Martin and Kerstad to ball out. Let's hope Martin gets consistent behind the plate. Not like he was terrible, though. You should hear Phil Elson talk about his bat speed, just the things that Martin can do. But you feel like it's going to be a year where someone else emerges, whether it's on the bullpen or coming out of the bullpen or wherever else. I'm really excited about Razorback baseball. And like I said, I'm going to try and catch some more games this year. What are we running on? What's our time here? Let me pull this up. We're coming up on 20 minutes. We're still good. Okay. So is Kelly coming? I'm late. So he was crystal balled today, Seth, to Arkansas. Also, for anyone who's coming in after this video has already gone live and it's up and posted, I've seen this comment. it's not super common, but you'll see it. Someone will come in and they'll complain about me reading chat. Well, that's part of the show, me interacting with chat. So if you got a problem with that, I don't know. Go watch. I don't know. Go watch another show. I don't know what to tell you. I had an email a few weeks back that said, "I wish you didn't read chat." And no, it's been longer than a few weeks. That was before Thanksgiving break. So it's been about a few months, actually. But I had someone email me, and they complained about me reading chat. And I'm like, that's what this show is. It's part me interacting with chat. If you have a problem with it, move on. So, yeah, Seth, I think that he is. Good evening, Ty. What's up, Doug Stubbs? I gave so welcome to Patreon, Doug Stubbs. I did not update the list. That's my bad. It didn't get done. I'll get that updated. But I gave you a shout out at the beginning of the show if you want to go rewind and check that out. Hey, Ty, I read an article 2 weeks ago that said KJ was moving on. Where are my glasses? But have never seen that reported anywhere else. Have you heard anything? No. Tim, everything you're reading right now is probably just conjecture and rumors and bullshit. Don't believe it until you hear it out of, I'm trying to think who on Twitter is the most reliable. Probably, Richard Davenport will release some good stuff, good news. He's obviously mostly recruiting. Dudley Dawson, Otis Kirk, any of the reliable recruiting people will also recruit news like that. I would say Trey Biddy, but he kind of comes and goes on Twitter. Danny West is obviously another good source. Nikki Chavanel from Hogbeat. Follow those people. If those people start reporting it on Twitter, that's when you know to take it serious. I think Nolan and Wicklander will be dominant. Golly, Wicklander. Fingers crossed. I feel good about Connor Nolan. I just don't know about Wicklander yet. Friday and Saturdays this year. Excited to see their improvement from year 1 to year 2. Me too. I'm curious to see Z as a closer. I was listening to 103.7 The Buzz, and they said Arkansas to get and they said for Arkansas to get to the tourney, they have to win 6 out of the next 8. Do you agree? Sounds about right. If I'm being real, if we're switching over to basketball, yeah, it sounds about right. And that's actually where I was going to end the show today, is talking about Razorback basketball really quick. Oh, my God, you're reading chat. Laugh out loud. How dare you? I know, Mike. You wouldn't believe the stupid nonsense people bitch about on this show. I'm not supposed to read about, or I'm not supposed to give shout-outs to the Patreon supporters, or they don't like it anyways. Not that they want to control what I do, but they don't like it. It turns them off, and that's so weird to me. Those are people that, to me, they're I hate to say this, very boomerish, very just, I don't know, get over it. Interesting with chat is the whole point of doing or interacting with chat. Told you I don't have my glasses on, Kelly. Yeah, it's the whole point of the live show. I know. Thank you. I know you get it. Thoughts on how Franklin does at the plate? Let's just hope that he improves. That's where I'm at with it, Tyler. I don't know. Mr. T-Dub, how you doing, my man? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend was great out on the left coast. Yeah, I don't know. Baseball is going to be fun. I will, like I said, I'll try to get as caught up as I can. I'm hoping to get my hands on a media guide this year, and we're going to press for those. We're going to press for those credentials, and I don't know. Some people are only happy when they're bitching. Fan interaction keeps me coming back, and that's been one of the best things about what we do, about the PTN. We try to incorporate that on the Hog Talk. We try to just read reactions and get your comments. We want to be interactive. I think it's a bonus of doing these shows, of being able to do these live shows. Could someone tell me what happened to Blaine Knight? Well, he moved on. I don't know. He's probably still pitching the majors somewhere. Okay, let's well, I said majors. I meant minors. Sorry, he's probably in the minors. He's probably in a farm league somewhere. Moving on to basketball really quick, and this will be our last segment of the show. I'll say this. This next game coming up against Tennessee, I don't think I have to tell you guys how huge this is. Tennessee is favored at 58.2%. They're 13-10. They don't blow you away on film, but they are a pretty well-coached team. They've lost some. They're kind of like South Carolina this year, or who's another good team? Maybe. Well, I say good. They are sub 500. That's not exactly good. Conference play, they're 5-5. By the way, I'm trying to think of another opponent Arkansas's played who they kind of remind me of, just as far as how their season has gone. Maybe South Carolina is a good place to start. They don't do anything exceptionally well, but again, they're very well coached. Again, they're favored according to the ESPN Basketball Power Index at 58%. I guess I say they don't do anything that well. Defense is actually really good. Defense is really good. They're like a top 40 defense, top 30 defense, but they don't score a lot. I know they rank near the back of the conference in total scoring. They don't rebound too well. Again, back of the conference. You're concerned. It's another good, well-coached defensive Tennessee basketball team. Right now they're 7th in the SEC. 5-5 conference record, 13-10 overall. You look back, they did. They lost a close one to Memphis earlier in the year. They lost a close one to Florida State earlier. They beat VCU, who at the time was ranked 20th in the country at home, 72-69. They did beat South Carolina by a point, 56-55. They went on the road and they beat Vandy. They beat Ole Miss, but right now it's not been. Let's see, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of their last 5 games have been losses. They did win on the road against. I hate that. I hate that they were able to do what we were able to do. They went on the road and beat Alabama 69-68, but they lost to Kentucky 77-64. So they will be playing this. That's tomorrow on SEC Network at 6 p.m. I don't know if I'm going to do a post game or not. I play these things by ear. I would like to, but you never know. Something could pop up. But 6 p.m. SEC Network. I hate to do this. Arkansas has proven me wrong on the road multiple times this year. I don't like Arkansas's odds, and it's not because I think Tennessee's a better team. It's mostly because of the injuries. Witt, I don't believe, is playing at 100%. You're already without Isaiah Joe for what looks like the remainder of the regular season. If Mason Jones doesn't score 30, your odds of winning this game are really low. You can't settle. You cannot settle for just a small handful of 3-pointers to win from here. Really, that's been kind of the case all year. Musselman said it himself. We've got to knock down, I think he said 8, 9, 10 threes a game to win, and that's still the case. You can't do what you did last week against Missouri. That loss. I'm so glad I didn't do a post-game show because I wasn't filled with excitement. It was just this kind of the shadow behind me that is the rest of the season. It's creeping up behind you, and it's just felt a little bit more gloomy than energized or how I normally am after losses. It was more of a damn, man, that was such a telling loss. And so you wonder the wear and tear. Musselman's response all year to lack of depth is that they're gonna do stamina drills. They're gonna work their way out of it. They're gonna figure out how to go longer. And these guys, Witt and Mason Jones, they can't log these kind of minutes. You wonder about Bailey. Start to wonder about the rest of this lineup. The rest of your typical starting 4 or 5 guys. Of course, Joe's out of the lineup now, but you wonder, has it caught up to him? And a friend of mine said earlier in the year, I think it's going to catch up to him. And I thought, I don't know. Musselman seems to think they can get it. They can stamina their way out of it in drills and practices. They can work that out in practice and figure that out there. And I believed Musselman. I believed in what I was seeing because at that point when he had said that, Arkansas was off to a great start in SEC play. Well, I say great start. You know what I mean? They were coming out of that non-conference like it was nothing, and they had a pretty big win there. Well, I shouldn't say big win, but A&M. You beat A&M. I think that was around the time he sent that text, and I remember thinking, I think they can sustain this actually, and it's turning out to not be true. It's turning out that the lack of depth has now completely caught up with you. You had one guy go down that you absolutely could not afford to lose in Isaiah Joe. Now you've got Witt, who's rumored to not even be at 100%, something going on with his back. It's caught up to him. and the wear and tear. That's the wear and tear of the regular season. That's why it's so important to have depth. That's why it's so important. A lot of you know that. I get it. But then I see these people having these just ridiculous hot takes on Twitter about how Musselman turns out he was a fraud the whole time and this and that. My God, shut up. Like, have you not been watching this team? They give effort where they make up for lack of play on the court. They make up for a phenomenal effort. And I think you'll still see them fight. I don't know that I have them any longer going to the tournament. I'm going to really save that judgment until after. I'm probably going to lean pretty heavily on this game. And I know people are going to say, well, you can't. It's a road game. But these games matter. They matter. And then that's going to be another disappointing loss. This really, in the books, is a disappointing loss if you lose it. It's not one that's going to hurt you in the long run, but it could set you up for a series, some more losses, and then they stack up, so it could be the domino effect. Maybe that's what we just witnessed against Mizzou. Maybe Mizzou was the domino effect. Maybe that's what tipped this all off. But I don't like their odds here against Tennessee. I just don't. It's going to be a tough fight. I hope I'm wrong. I've been wrong on this before, and some of you like to remind me of that, and I'm fine with that. I'll take it, but I have a hard time seeing them getting past this one. And it does put you in a position where, in that Mizzou game was so pivotal because of this. Because now, remember what we said, you play great through January, or at least play up to what you're expected to in January. At that time, people were bought in, so you play up to that level of expectations, and then you don't have to worry so much about those last several games in February. Here we are, because of injuries and because of your lack of depth. On the road against Tennessee, at home against Mississippi State. I like that you're at home against Mississippi State. I don't know that I like them beating Mississippi State. Again, this Tennessee game is going to tell us a lot. Then you're back on the road against Florida on the 18th, back at home for what I hope to be a revenge game against Mizzou. I shouldn't say that because that actually gives some feel to that game being a rivalry game. I just hate Mizzou. Not like in a rivalry sense, just their fans, their poop swastikas on their hallways, their stupid the frat boy rap video. Have you guys seen that? Like, I hate them. We are losing to these guys. What's the losing streak in football to Mizzou? How is this happening? That's why I hate this school. It's not a rivalry. It's a manufactured bullshit rivalry, and they know it, yet they're all about it. Hog fans are like, what? How are we? Who cares? How are we losing to these guys? But then you're back home again against Tennessee after that Mizzou game on the 26th. Back on the road against Georgia. At home against LSU and A&M to close the season out. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. Their defense is actually, we talk about how great their defense is. Their defense has actually fallen back quite a ways. They're barely in the top 100. Coming out of going really into the first several games in the SEC play, you're still like one of the top 20, top 15 defenses. And these last few weeks have just taken a toll. And again, it goes back to, size. You've heard it beaten over your head time and time again. Size and now injuries and all that. So I felt like we just stood by and let Mizzou score a lot in the paint. Mizzou did whatever they wanted. Jamario isn't very good, only 6'5", 6'6", without crazy athleticism and very little perimeter skills. I edited my other post in OT. I saw a guy standing in the paint just watching a Mizzou player guy do a layup drill. How about them Ladybacks beating Kentucky? Yeah, that was big, 103-85. That was a must win for them, and they did it against a ranked Kentucky team. They got the dub. That was really good to see. When you win, you are all for a rivalry, quote unquote. And it's not even that. I guess you're talking about them. I guess maybe you're talking about them. I could care less if we were like, the expectation should be that you don't have this ridiculous losing streak to them in football. How the hell we got we know how we got there. Bad coaching hires. And then for you to lose that game on Saturday against Mizzou, it just stings. You know why you lost it. You know why you lost that game. Had nothing, in my opinion, not as much to do with Mizzou as they think so, but they didn't play into it as much as they believe they did. It's again, the injuries and so on and so forth. But I just can't for the life of me understand how I mean they're doing the opposite of what I thought they would do when they joined the conference. I really thought that Arkansas would be. They have been in basketball, but I didn't expect them to have a losing streak against Mizzou like this. I hope they end it in football. It's ridiculous. Do you think we should call off the Battle Line rivalry? Oh gosh, Tony, yes. It's manufactured. It's all it is. It's a manufactured rivalry by the SEC to sell tickets, to get more people watching games. That's all it is. In order for a rivalry to happen, it has to be organic. It's something that takes place, big, meaningful games over a course of time, not just something you throw into a slot in the final week of football or whatever during the basketball season. You can schedule them as many times as you want. That's not how it works. You got to have meaningful games over a long period of time before you just pop up these rivalries. That's not how it works. Pop-up rivalries are bullshit corporate rivalries. That's all it is. It's an SEC trying to, partly I think, to make up for us losing the LSU game of the final week of the year in football season, but I think also it's just another way to sell tickets, to get people interested, to build to have something there. And I think I know we're responsible for the trophy, right? What's his name down in Little Rock? Isn't he responsible for that? For the trophy? I could be wrong. They own us. They do, and that's what's crazy. And even if it were the other way around, I would have the same exact point of view on it. I don't know. It just feels fake. It's like it's fake. I don't know. It's not bad coaching hires. We are 3-8 lifetime. It's not bad coaching hires, Mountain Visions. You don't think that might play a pretty significant role in the fact that you've lost to, I mean, you're going on a decade for A&M and you're going on half a decade, right, and against Mizzou? You don't think that has something to do with bad coaching hires? I don't know, man. We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one. It seems like it's so hard to beat Arkansas in regulation, isn't it? It's crazy. It's crazy. Arkansas versus LSU is the best rivalry. It was when it was there. Now it feels like it's just another game. I don't know. David Basil did the trophy. Yeah, he did. You're right. I knew him. The guy out of Little Rock. Jacob. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, that's going to do it. I'm going to eat some supper. I don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow night or not after the game. If they win, I probably will. If they lose, maybe I still will. I don't know. But we'll play it by ear. Follow me on social media, Twitter, at Tyzilla83 on Twitter. Yeah, that's my 5-year-old, if you couldn't hear it. She's screaming in the kitchen, which is like right there. Yeah, follow me on Twitter. I'll try to keep you guys up to date there as to whether or not I'm going to go live, or I'll keep you up to date on YouTube. I'll post something if I'm able to, if I find time to. And, hopefully you get a win tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's game is so telling. Tomorrow night's game, it's big. Really, it is. And you could probably argue every game is going to be like this until you get to like 20, right? If you get to 20 wins, then you feel like you've got a shot. Maybe you can make up ground in the SEC tournament, depending on the matchup. They're not a team built for tournament play, by the way. They're not. I also think, and I had a good discussion with someone about whether or not, if they do actually make the NCAA tournament, how far would they go? I said, look, at this point, let's take it one day at a time. If they make the tournament, that you should just be thrilled. Hell, if you make the NITs, you should be thrilled. You weren't expected to do any of this. And they definitely would have. I think they would have been gone. They would have gone further. Excuse me, had they had some more depth, or maybe not have these injuries. So, but you know how you got these injuries? Too much playing time, too much wear and tear. But thank you guys again. Remember to like the video. Check out all the links down below in the description box. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're closing in on 400,000 total views on the channel. And 3,000 subscribers. We're moving on up. It's good stuff. So that's it. Again, Woo Pig Suey, and I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow night. More than likely, for sure, Friday night. So I'll see you then.